Hello there, it's Yin Yoga time, about 45 minutes. We'll be focusing on 3 to 5 minute stretches, deep held stretches to target our fascia, our connective tissue which surrounds the muscles. So we undo that shrink wrapped feeling when, like this, to being a bit more open, freer range of movement, more range of movement. So we're going to start, I'm going to, instead of using a block or a cushion, I'm going to roll up my mat and I'm going to sit on that for butterfly to start. So you can have cushions, blocks or anything just to give us that slight lift. We're going to hold this first stretch for about 5 minutes, and we want to start by first of all noticing sensations, and we can experiment with either our feet close in and chest forward, shoulders back, and we can notice where we're feeling a stretch. It might be quite an intense stretch in the inner thigh area, and that's what Yin really is all about, noticing and sometimes staying with a little bit of discomfort or tension, but not staying with pain. And maybe after a minute we might notice that the tension has maybe eased off a little bit. Sometimes it might take longer than a minute, might take a few hours. That's a minute, so it's your choice if you want to keep with this slightly more yang version of butterfly or cobblers in hatha, or take the feet a little bit away now and walk the hands forward to rest. Maybe, again, it depends where you put your hands, where the intensity changes. So elbows can rest on the knees or the inner thighs to push the knees away a little bit. You can rest your forearms on your feet. Here we can let the back round, and more now notice the stretch might have gone away from the inner thighs, more maybe hamstrings or your back, your lower back maybe. Here we can bring the chin towards the chest and allow the crown of the head to come down towards the floor. Or you could get a block or a book to place your block or your book between your feet and let the head rest there. So still here noticing sensations. Anywhere you might feel a stretch. About 3 more breaths here. Now lifting up slowly out of butterfly and stretching one leg forward and the other leg forward, lifting ourselves off our block or mat or cushion. And then because we've been rounding the back, we'll do a counter pose here. So come up into inclined plane with the legs straight or bent. And we'll do about 3 or 4 lifts. So feet pressing into the floor, lifting up, breathing in, breathing out to lower. Maybe try with straight legs, pointing the toes, breathing in to lift up, and out to lower. And one more, your choice, bent or straight legs. Breathe in, and breathe out, and lower. Then slowly bringing ourselves down onto our back, and bringing both knees in towards the chest. So next I'm going to show you either reclining swan, or might go into reclining shoelace depending on your outer hip flexibility, or we'll try seated shoelace, which is quite intense for the knees, so you might prefer to stay down on the floor. So I'll just show you first of all the steps to come into reclining shoelace. So we bring our right ankle over our left thigh, and then we're drawing, first of all, just taking the knee away with the right hand, the right knee away, and that might be enough. Still great to lie on a hard floor on our backs to bring our back into its natural alignment. If we want to go further, we take the left foot off the floor and we either thread the hands through underneath the left knee, on top of the left knee. So this is reclining swan. And then to add in the shoelace, we unlink the hands and draw the right knee so it's just close to the chest, and then draw both knees in towards the chest. So then to go further, you take opposite hands outside the ankles and draw the feet up towards the shoulders as much as you can, and here you would feel hopefully a deep stretch in the right hip, the right glute, right piriformis maybe. So then to do this seated, we lift ourselves up to seated. So either stay in your reclining shoelace, might be enough, where we thread the hands through behind the, reclining swan. Thread the hands through the triangle between the legs and the hands on top of the left knee or under the left knee, or reclining shoelace. Then I will lift up, so pressing the elbows into the floor, lifting up to seated shoelace. So here I'm making a shoelace shape with both my knees, and what we try and do is bring the knees down to the floor, bring our right ankle so it's by the left hip, and our left ankle so it's by the right hip. And from this seated shoelace we can either add a twist, both sides, quite nice to rotate the chest to each side, lovely loosening off for the spine, and then we would walk the hands forward to come to rest a chin on the top knee, maybe a chin or a forehead. So this probably is more advanced, quite an intense stretch now for the right hip, right glute. So if you've been in the reclining version, you've probably already been there for a couple of minutes. So we'll just stay for another couple of minutes. And Here, focus on the sensations you're feeling. And if you can now, bring your awareness also into your breathing. So in yoga we want to breathe in and out through the nose. So lifting up slowly. If you're in reclining swan or shoelace, just uncrossing the legs and bringing both feet down to the floor. And then we're going into the opposite side. So first of all, left ankle over right thigh, or if you're doing the seated shoelace, crossing over the knees, opposite way. So reclining shoelace, hands thread through, behind the right knee or on top of the right knee. And from here, if you want to try shoelace opposite side, bring the both knees into the chest if you like, or taking hold of opposite ankles, drawing the feet up towards the shoulders. So now more intense stretch for our left side, left hip, glute, piriformis. Then for the more progression, we would lift up into our seated shoelace. Now with the left knee on top. So we can add these twists or rotations for the spine again. And then if we want to, we would come forward, resting on the elbows or maybe a cushion. If you need a cushion, you can rest a cheek on the top knee or the chin. And again, we'll hold for about 2 minutes or so. Remember to stay focused on that deep breath. out slowly. So I'm crossing the legs and coming back onto our backs and hugging the knees into the chest, knees slowly side to side. We're going to come up to seated. So from here, I'm going to show you some single leg variations to open the hips, but to also notice what happens when we place the feet or the legs in a different position. So first of all, we're going to start with the half straddle. So the main straddle is with the feet wide apart. But because of the shapes of my hips, this one isn't very good for me because it just can't come forward. So you might be the same. So then all we would do is bring our right foot into our left thigh for half straddle and then reach forward to fold over the left leg. So we're going to do each version for 2 minutes. So if we fold over the left leg, or we can bring the elbows to rest just in kind of rest forward or folding over the left leg. And all I want you to do is notice if you bring the elbows forward or the hands forward where you feel a stretch, and then taking the hands over to the left leg where you feel a stretch. Maybe changing position with the elbows, whichever you can feel like you can sink into more. Lifting out slowly. And the next version we're going to try is the half shoelace, so stretching out the right leg and bringing the left foot so it's kind of in line with the left hip. Sitting up tall first of all and bringing the right foot so it's over the left knee, outside of the left knee. So the first version will be just to sit up tall and hug the right knee in towards the left shoulder. Or we can now bring our right foot so it's by the side of the left hip, and we can walk forward with the hands. So here, a more of a stretch for our left hamstring, maybe the left calf. We can rest our head on our right knee, or we can sit up tall. It's up to you. Can come forward to bring that more intense stretch in the left leg. Focusing on this lovely deep breath. Now lift up slowly. So if the next option doesn't work for you, which is half saddle, go back to either half straddle or stay in the half shoelace. So just a quick reminder, half straddle is with the left leg out to the side and the right foot into the left thigh. So I'll show you half saddle. So half saddle is the right foot now with the right leg bent, right foot by the right hip. So we can sit like this. So, or we can come forward over the left thigh for another stretch for our hamstring. For more of a stretch, opening the chest for the front of our body, we can walk the hands back, we can lean back onto our elbows. Maybe if we have a cushion behind, we can lie back onto the cushion. And here we're more compressing we're extending our back. So not back flexion, back extension. And the stretch for our front right quad. So see if I can lie down. Doesn't matter if the right knee comes up a little bit. You can stretch the hands above the head and get that lovely stretch in the chest and the armpits. And we're going to lift out of whichever move you've chosen to make our way to the opposite side. So if we're in the half saddle, might need a crane, or we can stretch our right foot out and shake out and press into the elbows to lift up slowly and going into the opposite side. So starting in straddle, might notice we can take the feet further apart or we can come a bit more forward, but again that might take a few more hours. So I'm going into our half straddle first on the opposite side. So our left foot comes into our right thigh, then we're stretching either over our right foot, maybe noticing a stretch in the hamstring or the calf, or bring the elbows just in front of the left shin, or elbows either side of your right leg. You could also bring the flesh from underneath your buttocks, which might help you to tilt forward a little bit more. Or you could have perch your bottom on a cushion or a rolled up mat. So we're going to hold here for 2 minutes. Now lifting out slowly. Then we're coming into the half shoelace. So stretch out the left leg first of all. Maybe give the legs a shake out. And changing sides. So left foot over the right knee. And we can sit up tall, hugging the left knee in towards the right shoulder. And we can stay there. Or we can bring now the left knee so it's on top of the right knee and the left foot by the right hip, and here we can come forward over that the top left knee, hands either side of your right leg, head maybe resting down on the left knee. Again, we can bring the flesh from underneath the buttocks. and lifting out slowly. Again, sitting up tall, so we can either go back into half straddle or half saddle we'll go into. So half straddle, right leg out to the side, left foot into the right thigh, or half saddle. Now we're bringing our left foot by our left hip, so bending the left leg, either coming forward over the right leg or going back. So if you can't go back, we can stay like this with the hands outside, just fingertips pointing out to the side or fingertips facing forward. You can see if we can lower down onto the elbows. Maybe feeling a stretch in the left thigh. Nice opening for the chest. So there's no rush to lower down, but if you wanted to, you could lower down. So each side might feel slightly different. Can stretch out those arms above the head, or we can have the arms in kind of at right angle, palms down or palms up, chin towards the chest. And bringing ourselves out slowly. So we can either just press into the elbows to lift up, or we can kind of lean over to our right hand side and stretch out the left leg. And lift back up slowly. The back might feel a bit tender now, so we'll stretch out the back in relaxing child pose. So first of all, onto all floors, big toes together and the knees slightly apart, bringing the bottom down towards the heels, either resting your elbows on the floor or stretching the hands out, resting the head either on the hands or on the mat. out slowly. Then from here, we're going to do legs up the wall and try some of the stretches we've already done with our legs up the wall. So first of all, I'm going to take my mat into half and then quarter and have the mat against the wall, just for a bit of padding for the back. Also, if you've got tight hamstrings, the mat might need to be further away. If hamstrings aren't so tight, you can have your mat closer to the wall. So to get into legs up the wall, we bring our hip and body with our legs side on, and then all we do is kind of swivel round and bring ourselves onto the floor and stretch the legs up the wall. So we'll start with basic legs up the wall first, to feel, just and notice, first of all, the back as it feels sinking down in towards the mat. Shoulder blades sinking, notice the contact with the floor. So the shoulder blades are in the floor, the upper back, middle back and lower back. And we want to either take the arms out to the side with the palms facing up, with the fingertips stretching away, and a little bit of a shake in the body. So shuffling the body, shuffling the shoulders side to side a little bit, so we can feel the body release down a little bit more. Or we can again do what we call cactus arms with the arms. That means just with the palms facing up again, this time the fingertips facing behind and the arms at right angle. Now we want to focus on the breath. With each exhale, you just want to focus on feeling your back release a little bit deeper each time, a little bit spreading the back further into the floor. So the exhale, focus on back sinking, back releasing, body relaxing. So the back is melting deeper into the mat. And from here we're going to take the feet as far apart as they'll go into the straddle, reclining straddle or straddle at the wall. So straight away notice sensations either in the feet, because the feet have been high up against the wall. As you take the feet out, the blood kind of rushes into the feet. So notice that sensation maybe, or the sensation in the inner thigh area, or the back of the hamstrings. So 6 more breaths with straddle at the wall, making your breath as deep as possible. And then bring the feet together and go back into legs up the wall for 6 deep breaths. Now coming into butterfly at the wall. So soles of the feet are together with the knees out to the side. You can either have the feet slightly up the wall in butterfly or feet further down the wall with knees maybe pressing the knees away for a deeper intense stretch in the inner thigh. And again noticing sensations in the feet as the feet are lowered. And 6 breaths in butterfly at the wall. Slowly bring the knees together and stretch the legs up the wall again, feet up towards the ceiling, and bring the knees in towards the chest. Give the knees a hug into the chest. If it feels good here, we can take the knees side to side. And bringing our knees down to our right hand side. We're just going to finish with a reclining twist. So, untwisting away from the wall. And knees together, feet are together, arms out at the side. Either palms up or palms down. Feels quite nice here to extend the fingertips away. Feel the shoulder blades having a massage into the floor. And we're taking the knees down to the right hand side and looking over our left fingers and holding again for 6 breaths. Draw our knees back to the centre. Reshuffle the body a little bit, adjusting the spine maybe, and then knees slowly down to the left and looking over the right fingertips for 6 breaths again. Slowly back to the centre with the knees. And then bringing the knees into the chest, hooking the knees in. And we'll finish with a short relaxation where we're focusing on counting our breaths down from 10 to 1. So we want to make ourselves as comfortable as possible. So either legs bent with the feet flat on the floor, maybe bringing the knees together and taking the feet out, which I'm going to do, and arms out at the side with the palms facing up, or you can have your legs out straight, legs slightly apart and small toes releasing down to the side. Chin towards the chest, back of the head resting into the floor, making sure our back isn't arching, so having a nice flat back. Feel again the back releasing down, sinking down into the mat. Then we're counting our breaths, starting at 10, so inhale 10, exhale 10, inhale 9, exhale 9, inhale 8, exhale 8, inhale 7, exhale 7, inhale 6, exhale 6, inhale 5, exhale 5, inhale 4, exhale 4, inhale 3, exhale 3, inhale 2, exhale 2, inhale 1, exhale 1, and if you like, stay in your relaxation, just breathing softly, breathing deeply. Or bring yourself out slowly, moving whichever way feels good. And thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye for now.